Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. So I'm coming to you with another organization type of video. This is going to be my brushes, how I organize my brushes. So this was requested and I think it's a great idea to go with that organization series that I did not too long ago, in depth how I organize things and why I organize them the way I do in my mind and all those type of things. So the theme behind, or the idea behind that organization series really quickly is because I have a lot. I have a lot of makeup. I have a lot of brushes. I have a lot. And this goes into, well, you guys know why I have a lot. Because I love makeup. Because I love reviewing it, collecting it. I love it. Think it's fun. I like to have a lot of options. But with that being said, a big part of keeping a collection like this together and knowing what you have is having it organized. I am a sucker for organization. I love having things organized and in a place and all that type of stuff. And you guys go through my whole makeup collection and storage playlist. I'll link it down below where I have all of that, all of my makeup collection videos, organizational tips, things that I have. Just it's my kind of thing. It's my kind of thing. Yeah, so anyway, I didn't do a brush video, so this is the brush organization video. I have a lot of brushes. I don't know how many brushes I have, but I have a lot of brushes, and there's a certain way that I organize them, and there's a reason why. So let's get into that. So my brushes have grown, obviously, from like a cup to mini cups to little mini flower pots, if you follow my channel and different things. And the best thing that I've found are these rotators. So before I show it to you, I found these actually through Emily Noel 83. She has one. She has one with our brushes in it. It's a Pampered Chef rotating thing. And I was like, oh my God, that's genius. And it's for utensils. It's for like your forks and like your mixing spoons and different things in your kitchen. She was like, I looked it up. It's from Pampered Chef. It came like with the house that she moved in or something like that. Yeah. So I go and look for this thing. They only have it in black on their website, and it's about 20 bucks. I'll see if I can find some links for you guys. And so to eBay I went, and so I found a white one on eBay, and for like 6 months I knew I needed more than one. I wound up buying 4 of them, and they were around the $25 mark. I think the most I paid for one was 30 bucks because I wanted the white ones because my whole situation was white, and that worked. But being me, I wound up start painting them gold eventually. So this is what it looks like. I spray painted it gold. There's a tissue in there, so I'll explain that in a minute. But I spray painted it gold. This is what it looks like. The bottom is still white, but this is what it looks like, and it rotates, and it has all these compartments, perfect for brushes, right? So the middle has a piece of tissue in there, because if it's not in there, this thing is that deep. So my brushes would go all the way down. I wouldn't be able to get them. So the middle section, I keep a tissue in there so they can sit up a little bit more. That's why I stuffed that in there. That's why that's there. So yeah, I just washed my brushes, all the dirty brushes, and I'm putting them back, and this is a way to do that. So I have 3 of these on my vanity right now on the regular. I have 3 of them, and they are sorted by, this is how they're sorted. 2 of them are for face brushes, 1 of them is for eye brushes. Face brushes are bigger than eye brushes, so that's what that is. And if you stuff these like to the max, they won't rotate because it's so heavy. And it's also better organization for me. So one has all of my cream face brushes, cream and liquid face brushes. The other one has all my powder brushes. And so how that's broken down is, in the cream and liquid face brushes is any brush that I'm using to put a cream or liquid on. So foundation brushes, concealer brushes, if I'm using cream contour, anything with a cream or liquid consistency, the brush that I would use for that goes in there. Okay. And then on the powder brush carousel, anything that I put any powder products I put on my face, I like to keep those separate, because the liquid and cream brushes kind of get grosser and dirtier faster than powder brushes do, and that's what it is. And plus, again, they get heavy and everything. So the powder brushes, all my face powders, my contours, any powder, any brush that I use with a powder substance, I go there. Okay, I don't use the same brush for liquid and powder. Yeah, and then the third one is all my eye brushes. I have a lot of eye brushes, but they're smaller and a lot lighter than face brushes, so all of them can go in one carousel. So that's just why that is like that. So now, because I just washed my brushes, I'm going to organize them on camera to show you what I do as I'm doing it, not just like talk about it. So this one may be a little bit longer than the other videos, but I think it's greatly appreciated. So within the carousel, because they're a section, you know it, I organize down to the sections. I do. I don't just throw them in all willy-nilly. I organize them by type of brush. This becomes very important when you get to the eye brushes. But when you get to the face brushes, they're big enough to see, but it becomes very important when you get to the eye brushes. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get started with this, okay? So this is what I do. Okay, hopefully this is a good angle. So I washed all of my brushes. They're on a towel. They're on a towel over there. The ones that were dirty. So they're all mixed up, face, eye, what have you. So this is once they're dry and everything, I go and I put them back in here. Now, as I'm doing my makeup, I wash my brushes, like deep clean, a big wash, probably every like 2 months. It's not that often because I have so many that I can get away with not having to wash them all the time because I'll just use a new one. So anyway, I go back and I do, and this is what I do. So like brushes go together. So my largest, the largest or tallest brushes go in the top one in the middle, because they're the biggest, and that's just how that works. And so with that, I put in mine, I put all of my dual fiber brushes, these that look like this, that are good for foundation and concealer. These dual fiber brushes, these here that are sitting here were already in here, and I took them out to show you how I organized. They were clean. So these dual fiber type of brushes, they go in there. And so this is what I do. I take out the ones, even if I didn't wash them, I take them out, and then because like, you know, things don't get put back in the right spot all the time. So that's what I do. I look and make sure, okay, and then I just, so they go in there. Now, this is an Outlier. It's the only brush I have of this type. This is the Real Techniques big face buffing brush. I put that in the top with those guys as well. I put that in the top with those guys as well because I do. So the next set of brushes that go together are all my flat foundation brushes. These I probably use the least in my collection. Oh, I forgot about this e.l.f. dual fiber. So I go back and forth. These are probably the least in my collection. I may use the least. I use them to apply product. I rarely use them to blend product. So that's what they're there for. And so I have all that organized. And I look. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do for sake of time is I'm gonna go ahead and look in this pile really quickly, the pile that I have that I wash, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the ones that belong over here. Now, usually I just go through as I go through, but for sake of time, I'm doing that really quickly right now, which is not a lot, but that's what I'm doing. If you see me kind of on the other side of the screen, it's like, what? All right. Okay, this one has the least amount of brushes in it too, by the way. So anyway, I take the flat foundation type of style brushes and they go ahead and they go in. Now these compartments are different sizes. I like to balance this out again because if it becomes unbalanced, it's iffy to not spin, and that bothers me. So I put those there, and then I go ahead and, so this is just the category. So this shape of brush, here, the pointier ones, they go together. So basically, like brushes go together. Like brushes go together. So that's what I'm doing. And I'll go ahead and, yeah. It's not that many. I thought it was more than that. Foundation buffing brushes. These are a little bit thicker. So this style of brush is like kabuki type. They're a little bit thicker, so they're not going to all fit in one. So I just kind of put them in two or whatever, you know, next to each other as best as I can. Yeah, so that's how that works. And see how it gets like not spinny because it's all like on one side. So they're not meant for heavy makeup brushes. These brushes are from Sonia Kashuk with a really weird shape to them. They have these weird angled type of things. So they all go together because in my mind they're related. They're related. This big brush gets its own spot because of just sake of space. So that's what I do. And then I put all of my small, like fluffy concealer brushes together like this. These are what I love to blend concealer out with. If I'm using a brush, these style of brushes, they go together. They go together. And then I have some smaller concealer type brushes. They go together. And that is that section. That's that. Yeah, and because it's not that many in here, this is not, you know, like I said, it's not that many in here. I have some extra space, and so I'll use this one. I didn't put anything up there. I don't know why, but I'll use this one to house like weirdly shaped brushes and small brushes that I may have gotten from a kit, simply because there's space to put them in this one. That's all. So there you go. That's that one. Okay, now we're going to go on to the powder brushes. These are the ones I didn't wash. And then I have, but I'm going to take them all out to show you. And then I have the ones that I did wash. All right, which is very easy to see. Powder brushes are larger, of course. Now, I never, with the Powell that I washed, I never like pick them all out the first time. I go back and realize I forgot one. So I don't want you guys to think this is perfect science. Anyway, with the powder brushes, the same thing. The larger brushes can go up here in this top area. So my large powder brushes, you guys know what a large powder brush is. So all these type, if I can get all 4 in there, I do. And I usually, that's how that works out. Okay, and then in the second tier, the next biggest brushes, if you will. So that's like big buffing powder brushes like this. I don't have very many. Flat top buffing powder brushes. It looks like I forgot to wash that. Okay, larger blush brushes as well. Like that. They go in there. Okay, and then in the lower part, just because I'll do everything else. I don't know really why. Just maybe shape and it's aesthetically pleasing to go large to small. It's no, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, we do my contour brushes. All the contour brushes go together. What I use to contour. They don't have to be labeled contour brushes. I really ignore what the brush is supposed to be used for. I use them for what I want to use them for. So that's something that you decide. That's that's you. I like these pointed style brushes to set my under eye area, like under eye concealer and different things with powder. Have a lot of them and they go together. All right. I think we get it. I think we get it. And then smaller blush brushes, of course, go together. Things I would use for blush. Fan brushes go together, because they do. And then these smaller brushes that I would use for highlighter as well, they go together. And there you go. That's what that is. There you go. Okay, now we're on to the eye brushes, which takes a little bit longer to do. So I'm not going to take all these out because they're organized now, and I'm just going to add the new ones to it. So how this is sorted up in here, I will break it down to you. So you see this? So this top section is all of my larger eye brushes, kind of like the larger type of kabuki type of brushes, really thick, dense brushes. I don't know what you want to call them. These are used to blend out cream products on the eye. So these are used to blend out the eye primer, like if I have nails on, or blend out the cream base, or blend out the concealer that I put around my eyebrows. So these are used specifically for those type of blending creams out on the eye, okay? So that's what that's there for, okay? And then if we go down on the tiers here, we have all of my spoolies and eyebrow and brushes and things like that, okay? And then next to that here, we have all of my liners. So angled liner brushes, skinny liner brushes, liner, angled, there you go. They're there, or brow if you look at it, angled. Okay, then next to that we have all of our, like my lip brushes. I don't have very many, but my small, super small lip or detail brushes, however you want to look at it. Okay, then if we keep going around, I'm still in the second tier. These are all of my small pencil brushes in this section. So everything that, pencil or smudge, I have those together. So pencil or smudge brush for that lower lash line, they go together, okay? Then we have all of our dense, like buffing crease brushes, the really densely packed crease type of buffing brushes, okay? So yeah, to getting that, to contour that eye is, that's what I call it, okay? Then we go on the lower tier and we get most of the main shadow brushes. So they are sorted by, here we go. So I have all of my fluffy crease brushes. These here, if you can see, These are all the brushes that I would use pretty much first to place that crease shade down and start buffing things out on the eye. Large, fluffy crease brushes, okay? Large and fluffy. And then if we go on the, oh, all of them are dirty. In this section, I'm gonna put them in here. Small blending brushes, small crease brushes that are like this, built like this, but smaller. They're still fluffy, but they're smaller, and they're good for blending, great for blending. Yeah, that's what I call them. And then my flat shader brushes. So I have two different types of like eyeshadow brushes. So one is this style. So this synthetic, well, all my brushes are synthetic, but this flat, smooth, that are really good for cream products. This type of brush, I use them for powder products as well. It's no big deal, but these really flat, condensed, compact type of brush. See how the bristles are? And then to put shadow on, and then I have a section for fluffy shadow brushes. Not as fluffy as a blending brush, but and still flat, but fluffy shadow brushes, if you will. You know, fluffy shadow brushes. And that, because I have so many eyeshadow brushes, each of those sections, the flat ones as well as the fluffy ones, take up about 2 sections a piece, which it is what it is. And yeah, so throughout me using my eyeshadows and throughout me, yeah, playing around and doing makeup for, what, those 2 months, I don't put everything back in the same spot. It's because I just don't remember, and you know, it's not that big of a deal. But then when I wash them, I reorganize them. But one thing that I do is if it's really, really dirty, like a shadow brush is really dirty, where I need to wash it before I use another shade with it, you know, whatever I use, I'll put it, I have an empty spot and I'll put it in there to know not to use it. I'll throw them in there. And yeah, that's how I do the eyeshadow brushes. So I'm going to go ahead and organize this and kind of speed it up a bit. So these are all of the brushes that I just washed. So they need to go in the category. And so I will do that now. And yeah, see you in a bit. And that is it. So my brushes are now good to go. I won't be washing them like that for a while. I do have spot brush cleaners and brush wipes. If I really want to use a certain brush over again, I'll do that. But, or I like significantly dirtied up a bunch of brushes in like a play session or something, and I just want to clean them. I do have spot things like that, but I just have so many that I could just use another brush, pick up another brush. And I like that. I have so many for that. I hate washing brushes. It's like I hate washing dishes, but that works. It works for me. This works for me. And yeah, so that's how I organize my brushes. If you have any questions, comments, concerns. Oh, double-ended brushes. I don't like them. I don't mind them, but they're hard to store. I think I have one double-ended brush in here, and I just put it in on one end. But a lot of my double-ended brushes come in palettes, and I don't use the brushes that come in palettes. I just keep them in the palette. They're literally still in the plastic. I don't know why. They're great brushes. I just don't do that. So yeah, that's what that is. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the products mentioned in the video, feel free to leave it down below. Check out my other organizational videos. I love you all, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.